Yo, what's good YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop. Back again. It's been a long time since I uploaded one of these. We have the official Smogon Tournament, number 15. And we've got, well, we had a round 1 bye. And I'm not sure why that was. But anyways, here we are with our round 2 opponent, Shimakaze. I don't know if that was a girl, but now that I look at it, it's just kind of got a girly team. Anyways, we've got this best of 3 series here, and for this first match, we decided to bring a team that we're very fond of. Jam and Joey used it on their Race to the Top series that they have going on. This is a team I think that Jam brought to the series. I don't know if he built the team, but he definitely brought it to the series. And it features Tapu Koko with U-Turn, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, and Roost. And it's a magnet variant, max speed, max special attack. Greninja is a Choice Scarf variant, max speed, max attack with U-Turn, Ice Beam, Rock Slide, and Gunk Shot. Choice Scarf, like I mentioned, and the Protein ability. Next up, we've got Charizard, Dragon Dance variant with Dual Stab and Roost. Pretty standard set. Jolly, max attack, max speed. And we have a Landorus variant, same, max speed, max attack. Jolly with Swords Dance, Smackdown, Fly, and Earthquake. Smackdown, if you don't know, is a 50% base power physical type, rock type move that removes the target's ground immunity. So if I was to knock Celesteela down with Smackdown, Earthquake becomes super effective at that point. Next up, we've got a Life Orb Latios with Draco, Surf, Roost, and Defog. This is basically our hazard remover, and it has Roost for longevity, and it also negates Life Orb damage, sort of. And then Draco and Surf isn't really the best coverage, but it's okay, I guess. And last but not least, we have a Spadef Ferrothorn with just a little bit of speed investment, and I'm guessing that's to outpace other Ferrothorns and get rid of their leftovers with knockoff. We have Stealth Rock, Leech Seed, Knockoff, and Power Whip, so I really like the squad. I think it's a really fun one to use. I love Koko, I love Greninja, I love Zard, and then the rest are just pretty much staples in OU, have been for a couple of gens now. Anyways, we'll go ahead and hop into the replay, and I'm going to lead off with Tapu Koko. I didn't really have another lead, and in the case that he did lead with something like Tapu Fini or Celesteela, I wanted to lead off with Tapu Koko so that I would have a type advantage and whatnot. Anyways, he leads off with the Mega Lopunny, and I know he's going to fake out or potentially just click return, so I'm going to hard switch into my Ferrothorn just to get some recoil damage on him from my Iron Barb's ability, and then I'm going to double out into my Landorus. But he actually pulls a switch out into his Volcarona, which was a fine play actually. He could have probably, or excuse me, I could have probably got my rocks up there, but yeah, it was kind of risky if he would have clicked high jump kick and potentially, knock me out or something, depending on the set. Anyways, I go into my Landorus here, and I can just click Smackdown. It would have did a lot to Volcarona, and it catches the incoming Celesteela as well, and I can just Swords Dance up here, predicting his Leech Seed or Protect or something like that, and then I could Earthquake the following turn, and it would be super effective. But he does go out into his Clefable here, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw off the +2 Supersonic Sky Strike and knock this bad boy out, unless it's unaware, which it would still do massive amounts of damage. Anyways, he brings out Mega Lopunny here, and he actually just goes for a fake out. I'm guessing trying to put me in range of Ice Punch. But here I'm going to try to get my rocks up this turn, and he gets that critical hit on the high jump kick, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm going to go out to my Greninja here and throw off the Scarf Gunk Shot. If he goes for the high jump kick, me being a poison type, it wouldn't have been, it would have been resisted, so that was the reason I made that play for, in case he went for high jump kick again. Anyways, Mega Lopunny goes down, and that's a huge threat gone. It was the fastest thing on the squad, and I'm really relieved that bad boy's gone. So we're going to get on with this. He brings in his Excadrill, and I guess he knew I was Scarf because I outpaced the Mega Lopunny. But at the same time, he also could bring in Excadrill here and be immune to the toxic or the poison type move. So now we're kind of in a position to where he gets up his rocks, and I can defog those away because I have defog on this bad boy, and he's going to reveal the toxic. It poisons me, but yeah, I'm just going to defog these away as he goes into his Tapu Fini, and that was a fine play, not a bad play at all. And I'm going to hard switch out into Tapu Koko here. I can take the Scald, I can take a Moonblast as well. I'm going to roost up here, puts me in just a little bit better position. And now I'm going to click Thunderbolt. Had I clicked Thunderbolt on the last turn, I would have potentially knocked out Tapu Koko and made Zard a huge threat to him, but he stayed in for some reason, and then he goes into Excadrill the following turn as I go into my Lottie here, because I know he's going to get his rocks up, but this time instead of, I know he's going to spam rocks, so I'm just going to click Surf here on the first turn, and I think I defog on the following turn, and he goes ahead and gets rocks up once more. So he's adamant about keeping his rocks up here. I'm at 24%. The next round of poison will knock me out, so I'm going to switch out into my Landorus Therian here, knowing that he's going to just get up his rocks once again. And what I can do here is just click, what do I click here? Swords Dance? Yeah, Swords Dance, because there's no way he was staying in, because he needs that as an electric immunity for my Tapu Koko. And he goes out into a Celesteela here, and I get the smackdown again, and now I'm basically picking up a knockout, but he sacks off his Excadrill, so now Coco's got a little bit more breathing room. He brings back in the Celesteela. I'm going to hard switch out into my Zard. I know I can take any one hit after Stealth Rocks, and I do just that. Now I can roost up as he brings in his Tapu Fini. So with this Mega Evolution, I only take 25% from rocks now, and neutral damage from Scald. Unfortunately, neutral damage from Moonblast as well, but here I'm sacking off my Landers. I go back out into my Latios here, and I'm just going to defog, because if he stays in, then I still get a defog. If he switches out, I'm dying, or excuse me, I'm not dying to poison yet. So that was potentially really scary there, especially if I didn't have the Scarf Greninja in the back. But he's going to go for the Quiver Dance, and I'm going to try to revenge kill him with the Rock Slide before or knock him out with the Rock Slide there, as I am Scarfed. But he goes out into the Fini, so good play there, not, risking me being Scarfed, as, I had already revealed it earlier. So here I'm just going to bring in my Koko on his Fini, and then U-turn out as he brings in his Volcarona. I'm going out to my Lottie in case he clicked Bug Buzz there, and then I can bring in my Greninja on the following turn, as he would be forced to switch out once again. Had he got 2 Quiver Dances up, that would have been game. So we can't ever allow him to get 2 Quiver Dances up. I'm going to hard switch back out into my Zard on this turn. I can roost up here, or I could double, and I am going to double out into Koko, predicting his Protect or his switch out into Fini. So unfortunately the Misty Terrain comes up, but what I can do here is roost and then switch out or something. I clicked Thunderbolt though. In the instance that he wanted to switch out to Volcarona there, predicted my switch out back into Zard or something. I didn't want that to happen, and I need to get the Electric Terrain back up. So what I'm going to do here, first I'm going to roost up on his Leech, and then I'm going to hard switch out. Best series of plays in my opinion. And then he actually brings in his Volcarona there as I brought in my Zard, so that was fine. I'm going to click the Flare Blitz, because had he Quiver Danced and I roosted, and then he attacked me, had like a Z move or something, and was able to knock me out, then I would have been in a really bad situation. So we didn't want that, and we're going to go out into Zard here, or has Zard in already, roost up, and then he taunts us after we get back to full. So now we can hard switch back out into Koko, get our Electric Terrain back up like we needed, and now we're basically picking up a knockout here with Thunderbolt. First we're going to roost up though, because the reason being for the roost is because I didn't see him just losing Fini there, because then Zard just wins. He needs Fini around to beat my Zard, or so that my Zard just can't beat him. And yeah, I roost up, and this is perfect, because now he's going into Celesteela, and I can get a knockout now. Knock out the Celesteela. He's either forced to bring in the Volcarona, in which I can just U-turn out, or he's forced to bring in the Fini, in which I could just knock it out as well. And I'm going to U-turn out, go into my Greninja here, and reveal... Actually, I double back out. I didn't want to lock myself into Gunk Shot, because he would be able to go into Volcarona and set up a Quiver Dance, and then I would have to sack something off, in which he could Quiver again, and then it would get really scary. So I had to double out into my Koko here, which works fine because I can survive the Scald, and now I can click Thunderbolt here and claim another knockout. So Coco really putting in the work here, and now his last mon is Volcarona, and all I have to do is U-turn out into my Zard, and I force him to the point where he can't, if he quivers again, which is his only play, he will be knocked out by my Flare Blitz. He had to like pray I was like Fire Punch or something like that, and that's just not the case. I was able to U-turn out on his quiver, and he wasn't able to knock me out with any one hit. So my Flare Blitz, or it forced him to Quiver Dance again, in which my Flare Blitz was able to knock him out. So that's going to be game one, a nice 46 turn battle there, and we pick up a nice 3-0 win. So that's going to be that, and we'll be right back with game two and then potentially 3. Alright, so here we are with game 2, and this time my opponent brings a or actually I think it's Mega Latias, Clefable, Ferrothorn, Garchomp, Greninja, which is male, so we don't know if it's Protein or Battle Bond yet, and Toxapex. And we're bringing another team from the... Actually, I don't know if this is from the Race to the Top. But yeah, this is either a team from Joey that I found on Joey's OU Lives, or one of the teams from him and Jam's Race to the Top or whatever, which features a Mega Beedrill, and this is an awesome Beedrill. It's a Swords Dance variant with Drill Run, Poison Jab, and U-Turn. We have a Tapu Fini with Taunt, Moonblast, Defog, and Scald, kind of Spadef, but quite a bit of speed investment as well. Landers has the same speed as Tapu Fini, and that just gives us information. Quite a bit of bulk on this Landers, and just a little bit of attack investment. Stealth Rocks, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Hidden Power Ice. We have an Assault Vest Tapu Lele with Psyshock, Nature's Madness, Moonblast, and Focus Blast, with enough speed to outpace Heatran, always, unless it's Scarf, obviously. And then quite a bit of HP investment too, which is really nice. I think we take roughly half from like a Greninja's Black Hole Eclipse or something like that. Next up we have a Choice Specs Battle Bond Greninja with Water Shuriken, obviously, Dark Pulse, Hydro Pump, as per usual, and Spikes, just in case. I do like a Life Orb Battle Bond Grin better than Specs. It loses just a little bit of power, but the option to set up Spikes and then attack, or just straight up attack, is just so good in my opinion. Last but not least, we have a Choice Scarf Magneton with Magnet Pull, which is really nice in this matchup since he does have Clefable, and he has the Ferrothorn, which I can trap and eliminate with Hidden Power Fire. We have Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, and Flash Cannon, so this is a pretty cool squad. And yeah, I guess we can hop into the replay now. So he's going to lead off with his Garchomp as I lead off with my Tapu Fini. This was my lead because it led well versus pretty much his entire team. I could taunt his 3 Fat Mons, and then, just Moonblast his 3 faster, offensive Mons. Anyways, he goes out into Pex here. I taunt him. He goes for Scald. Not too big of an issue. I'm going to hard switch out here into my Lele. I am Assault Vest, so there's no way he's going to do any kind of damage to me, and I can start firing off some side shocks here. I'm actually going to throw off a Nature's Madness though, as Ferrothorns are pretty likely switching, and I didn't want to miss Focus Blast, and Nature's Madness puts him in range of Focus Blast, so that was the reason for that. As you can see here, Focus Blast does quite a bit to Garchomp, so that reveals to be more of an offensive Garchomp. So I'm going to go out into my Landers here as he reveals Poison Jab. Poison Jab likely means he's Choice Scarf, so I'm going to get up my Rocks here. As he goes out into his Clefable, I'm going to hard switch back out into my Lele here as he reveals Calm Mind on his Clefable, and this is pretty scary. I'm going to go for Psyshock, and it's not a 2-hit KO, which is really scary, especially after his leftovers, and he's able to kind of soft boil me out until the Psychic Terrain is gone. So at that point, I wasn't even going to be doing close to half, so I'm going to hard switch out into my Beedrill as he goes for the +1 Flamethrower, calling the play right. He was either expecting my Beedrill or my Magneton or my Magnezone. Either way, it worked out great for him, and I'm going to pull a double here because I don't want Ferrothorn or Garchomp coming in to knock me out with their Rough Skin or Iron Barbs ability. So I'll pull a double out into Magneton or Magnezone and have to double out into Landorus on the Garchomp. So, predicting that, he actually pulls a double out into his Greninja, so he's getting a little momentum here. I do have Tapu Fini in the back though, so I'm going to go hard into that as he just gets up Spikes, and that's a little bit unfortunate for me. I got to get those gone because my Beedrill can't come in on that. I'm at like 8% or so, and I can't come in on Spikes, so I had to get rid of that. I was able to taunt this Clefable though, which was really nice for me. I'm going to hard switch out to my Magnezone now, as I kind of predicted his Ferrothorn or his Pex to come in. And I'm going to Volt Switch on his Pex, despite him having a Garchomp in the back, because I didn't think he was going to pull a hard switch out in the guard chomp once again, especially at it being, you know, roughly around half now. So I'm going to go out into Lele here and throw off a side shock as he got up a Toxic Spike, brings in his Feral Thorn, and I drop it with the Focus Blast. Got lucky there to land that, was really happy about that. He brings in his Greninja here, and I know I can leave anyone hit unless he's like Gunk Shot or something, which would give me a lot of information. So I go for the Moonblast, and I'm able to knock out the Greninja as well, and now he brings in his Mega Lati. So this thing reveals Calm Mind. So I'm guessing this team was based around Hazard stacking, like setup variants of this Mega and Clefable, as they were very, very problematic for me. I'm going to hard switch out to Mega Beedrill here, knowing he's going to Calm Mind or Recover, and I get rid of the Toxic Spike as well, and I'm going to U-turn here. I had to, sort of had to on this turn. If I pulled another double and he actually attacked, I would have lost a lot of momentum there. I was able to get rid of Garchomp with U-turn, which is really nice for me, but now don't have really a way to revenge kill Clefable or Mega Lati, which is kind of problematic. So I'm going to hard switch out into Feeny here. I don't want him to get too many Calm Minds up, and I figured he would soft wheel on this turn, which allows me to taunt him, just being at +1/+1. And he's supposed to switch out to his Lati here, and I think he's going to pull a double out because now he can't Roost, and Moonblast will knock him out. So he's going to pull a double out into Toxapex there, and takes no damage. I'm going to taunt him, prevent him from setting up his Toxic Spikes once again, but he just clicks Scald, and I'm going to hard switch out into my Magnezone at this point. As he goes for Scald again, gets a critical hit. I don't think it's going to come into play too much. I'm just going to Volt Switch out here. The plan is to get Mega Lati in range of being knocked out or 2-hit KO'd by Thunderbolt, so that he wouldn't have a switch in to Thunderbolt. Here I go for the Continental Crush, predicting his Mega Lati to come in on my Earthquake. I didn't think he would let Pix go down there, and it's going to be this turn that he don't let Pix go down as I go for Earthquake. I could have went for Stone Edge there, but had I missed, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. So I'm going to double out into my Feeny here as he doubles, or I'm going to switch out to my Feeny as he doubles into Pex. And what I'm going to do here is just defog these Toxic Spikes away once again. They're problematic, like I mentioned earlier, and I can't have any kind of problems here. So he pulls another switch out into his Toxapex. He basically got back to full from that series of switches, and I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt here, thinking that he may be in range with the Mega Lati to be 2-hit KO'd. So I do more than half to the Pex, but I can't do quite enough to the Mega Lati here. I'm forced to switch out once again, and he's able to recover, or he's able to Calm Mind, but he chooses to recover, which is a fine play there. And now he's going to start Calm Minding up as I have to defog these Toxic Spikes away, which allows him in a position to Calm Mind once again if he'd like, but he actually just goes for Stored Power. I think Calm Mind was the play there, as he could have got up to +2/+2, and then Stored Power could have potentially, you know, did more than what, 29% or whatever. He could have 2-hit KO'd me. Anyways, he goes back out into his Pex as I taunt that thing. Don't want it setting up Toxic Spikes again. I hard switch out into my Greninja on this turn, and this is where I'm going to make the biggest big boy play. I'm going to click Hydro Pump versus a Toxapex here, and I get way over half on Clefable, and that's when I was like, okay, now I'm going to start making a little bit more aggressive plays to see if I can't, you know, catch him or something, like I did on that last play. So I'm going to Volt Switch out once again, and he goes for the Toxic Spikes, and I can just defog those away once again. It's not too big of an issue, but what he can do now is click Scald and knock me out in the combination with Poison, but he actually just goes for Recover, so that's okay. Here I'm going to taunt him and make sure that he can't get Toxic Spikes up again, but he actually just goes for Scald, does 5%, in conjunction with Poison, knocks me out, and now I'm able to bring in my Lele. And this is where I'm going to make another big boy play. I'm going to Moonblast. I got him there too. And now I'm going to pull a switch out, knowing that he's going to potentially switch or just straight up attack. And I knew he couldn't click like Draco because I was a Fairy type, so I go hard into my Greninja, and he clicks the Psychic type move, and I'm going to double out into my Magnezone again, and now everything's in range of Thunderbolt. The Lati's in range of Thunderbolt at this point, and Clefable is in range of Thunderbolt at this point. It is a Calm Mind variant, so I know it's like has no SPDF investment, or it shouldn't if it's the standard set, and I should be able to knock it out here with Thunderbolt, unless I got the lowest row possible, like 41% or something like that, and my opponent's going to forfeit here knowing that his Toxapex can't beat my Magnezone. So we're going to be able to pick up a nice 3-0 and then a 4-0 victory here in Game 2, and we're going to move on to Round 3 of the official Smogon Tournament. 15 So not too bad. I think last OST was OST 14, and we made it to round 4, I believe. And those were some really good games last year. If you haven't saw those yet, I recommend going and checking those out. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys thought about game 1 and 2 of my round 2 rounds here, or my round 2 battles here. And yeah, I guess look out for round 3 whenever that comes around. So yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.